This car behind me cost me £250 and it was one of the biggest mistakes I've ever done in my life. This car has had every problem under the sun. It's had head gasket issues. I've replaced the clutch, the lower bushings, the thermostat, everything you can think of this car has had. Last video, it actually failed the MOT. So hopefully by the end of today's video, this car will be legally back on road with a new MOT. Or else I will most likely set this car on fire. In the last video, we actually rectified some of the failures on the MOT, including the lower bushings, which meant the whole subframe out, just for 2 bushings. Now, we have an MOT retest booked in a couple days. However, there is a few jobs we need to do before we send it back into the fire pit. So the first job that we have today is actually headlights. My old headlights failed on a bulb on the MOT. So being more than sensible, we actually burned, sliced, and changed the old headlights for some new aftermarket ones sent by a company called 2XI. Link in description. They've got the blacks around instead of the chrome one. And what that means for you guys is it shows you that in life, there is no light without dark. There is no appreciating one thing without the complete opposite force. Anyway, you got these lights. Oh my goodness! You got this like chandelier crystal lights right here. You got the normal beam, and then you got the high beams. Now there is one light on here that we actually have to wire up, and it's actually this circle halo light right at the bottom. Now if this car somehow has an electrical fire and it just catches on the fire on the side of the road, this is definitely not the reason why. So I kind of think that these are the power and ground for the angel lights, but these actually need to be wired into the factory loom to the ground and the power for the low beam. So pretty much we're actually using T-tap connectors for this. It's quite simple. It just needs a connector crimped onto one wire and then a splice connector crimped onto the other wire. And this basically makes a massive T, and it's just a super easy way to connect up wiring. As you can see right here, all we got to do now is connect up the power, doing the exact same thing, crimping on a connector and then crimping on a splice and connecting it together. And just like that, somebody with 2 brain cells who smacks his head off the garage door could do it, so you could as well. We have lift off, baby. Come on. Halo lights all working. You can't really see it in the daylight, but they are on. So you guys let me know, stock headlights or these headlights? The next job we had to fix is on the rear of the car, and it's actually this fuel cap right here. Now I don't quite honestly know how a fuel cap could literally be an advisory or a fail, but I mean, we've actually, oh, okay. Maybe that's why. Literally, it's just a push-in one. That's not sealing nothing, mate. It's called a flexi cap. Cinderella's more flexible than you. Now we've got our nice brand new one. ASMR for you, baby. Oh, that's lovely. Job done. And the next job today is fixing this atrocity. That exhaust rattle has gotten so much worse for some reason. So sliding under the car like I'm sliding my finger in your ear, giving you a wet willy, we actually got under to take a look at the exhaust rattle. Oh. Where is that hitting? It could potentially be a hit in here because that is touching. And it could be hitting here. Just absolutely love working on cars, man. I'm getting dripped on like a flipping ball bag's on top of me. Right, so a few minutes later, I've now adjusted the hanger. So it's just clearing nice at each side. But I've also raised the pipe a little bit just by adjusting that, twisting it a little bit. And guys, the last job that we've actually got to do on the Mini Cooper before the MOT is being delivered right now. Nah. Boom! New battery time! Now, if you guys did watch the MOT video, you would know that in that video, the electronics just kind of went a bit mental. So while I was nowhere near the wipers just started going. What did that just turn on for? What? I didn't even touch anything. Sometimes the fans will start going on the car. I am very concerned about that fan being on. And I think that that is due to the battery being just so shit. Now, both luckily and unluckily for me, I bought this car knowing full well it had problems. I knew that it didn't move and I had to get it trailered back to my house. And I've bought enough cars to know the used car market is a scary place. And that is why I use Car Vertical when buying all my cars. Now, by using Car Vertical, I could actually see that this Mini Cooper actually came out clean for everything. It actually came out clean for mileage, so there's been no mileage fraud on the car detected. Now, it does actually have an issue for financial and legal status, and the only reason for that is because it's failed its most recent MOT, which we know about. And the best thing about this car is it's not crash damaged. And the best part about that is when I eventually sell this car, it will be worth more. And that's not always the case. This 2017 Mini Cooper has been involved in a massive collision and has actually been written off as a Category S. This car could have been repaired and then put back on the market, and you wouldn't even know it's crashed unless you're using Car Vertical. So we've got the new battery here, guys, but if you guys are in the used car market at all, you don't want to go into buying a car completely blind, and that is why you can use the link in my description and code TOS for 20% off your reports, guys. So now getting the battery all back in and bolted up, we can now retire the jump starter from its 70th use. So the next day, it was actually MOT retest time. For the 17th time, we might have done it! Fingers crossed this is the final time we're heading towards an MOT test, because in all honesty, I'm fucking sick of it. So after a quick fuel stop, we were ready to go. It's actually another 20-mile drive all the way to the test centre for the retest. So I will see you guys, hopefully, if we make it. Well, turn the car off. If you don't start, I swear to God, I'll pick you up, scrumple you up and throw you in my recycling bin, alright? Dickhead. Right, MOT time, part 2. So I sat down for the retest and it was actually taking a lot longer than I thought. And this was worrying me. The scary thing is, right, they've literally done like a full test. It doesn't even look like they've done a partial retest. They've done a full test. I thought it was going to take like 15 minutes to check the lower bushing, but God, it's taken like fucking an hour. So I'm hoping they haven't found nothing else. That would be annoying. Shortly after, I got my paper and I was ready to roll out of there. Right then, guys, we've just rolled out of Quick Fit right now, and we've got the piece of paper in the car to tell us whether we've passed or failed or not. Yeah, we'll go into the results in about 5 seconds, but it might surprise you. It might surprise you. And just getting straight into this, I am not even joking right now, but the Mini Cooper failed the MOT. And you might be saying, oh, he's just joking, he's just joking. Look at this. I'm a man of my flipping word, guys. It failed its MOT on the headlights and the rear lights. This Mini Cooper is literally the son of the devil. It was sent to destroy my mental health and my bank account. Not even to mention we're still having problems. The fans are turning on now. It's still temperamental. You're like a girl on your period, fam. I am very concerned about that fan being on. So that's right, we failed the second MOT. However, of course, the legends at Quick Fit were not letting me go home without a pass. Passed, bitch! It's passed! It passed! Guys, honestly, when the guy came out and told me it was passed, I was like, are you taking a piss? This car has had just so much trauma built on it. I just did not think it would pass, but we have got the pass certificate right here. And I'm just so unbelievably happy about this. This literally means we can do what we want with this car right now. Literally, if we want to drive to the beach right now, I can. It's mad! The happiness was very short-lived with this Mini Cooper, because when we actually got home, there was no coolant left and the radiator cap was steaming. Look at that, it's bubbling. Literally no coolant. This car never fails to impress me. So I checked it out in the morning and actually found that one of the screws for the thermostat housing actually wasn't there anymore. When I actually tried to put it back in, it wasn't tightening up, which only led me to believe that these threads were stripped. This led to a weak seal around the thermostat housing, which could be dragging in air and causing this to bubble over and overheat. And this set of tools right here is actually going to be how we are going to be fixing that thermostat seal. I'm going to start with this bad boy right here. Woo. This kit provides us with a drill to drill out the old threads, then a tap to tap in a new set of threads. And now we're going to basically put in a helicoil. It looks like little springs, but they're actually threads that you actually thread into the threads you've just done. And by repairing this thread, we can actually get a tight hold down on the thermostat so no air can be sucked in to the coolant system. Yes! All 3 bolts are now tightened up properly. There's no movement. Job done. Yeah, no. It somehow it actually made it worse. It actually now started overheating on idle. Well and truly, I think a lot of you guys were commenting while I had the engine apart, do the water pump. And for some reason I didn't listen. I'm thinking, I've bled the system. I've sat here for like half an hour bleeding the system now. I think we might have a water pump issue. Cooler doesn't seem to be circulating because the heaters aren't working. We've bled the system. Well and truly don't know. So somehow we fixed one problem, but it led us to actually believe that that wasn't the problem in the first place. And now this is the state of the Mini right now. Front end and radiator all off the car, ready to tackle the job that you guys told me to do while it was all apart. The first time, water pump. Now on this Mini Cooper, the water pump is basically propeller blades of some sort that actually push coolant all around the car. So if the water pump isn't moving, the coolant is just sitting in the engine, getting hotter and hotter, rather than being pushed into the radiators, getting cooled down by the outside air coming through the grills. Now this car's done 123,000 miles and it looks like this is the original one that came on the car. So I think it's about time that we did change it. So first job we needed to do was take off alternator belt.
Little fucking hula hoop, mate. To be fair, that needed changing. Look at that.
And then next job was taking off the 3 bolts for the alternator, taking out the power cables, and we were all
fucking
good.
Ooh.
Next up was getting the water pump out of the car. And I can honestly say this was such an easy job to actually do. It was only a couple bolts and 3 coolant pipes.
Come through now. Whee. There we have it. There is a bit of dampness around here below the water pump, so maybe the water pump was leaking, maybe it wasn't.
But regardless, for £50 for this water pump off eBay, I can't actually complain. And to get it back on the car was simply the reverse process, and just like that, the water pump was all on the car looking fresh as hell. It's about to make a flipping tsunami in the coolant system. It's gonna be that powerful. And last but not least, we actually got the alternator back on. We actually installed a new alternator belt on the car. That is actually water pump all installed and put back together. We've got the alternator back on, water pump, everything is as it should be. So now we can actually get the radiator back on, or the radiator, shoot me. We get the radiator back on and then get everything back together. So this, my beautiful friends, was actually the home stretch where we got the radiator back on. We bled the system using this funny spill-proof funnel, a must-have for bleeding coolant systems. I'll link it in the description. But I just revved the car up to 2,000 RPM multiple times until there was heat coming out the air vents. So it was time to plug up the funnel, put the radiator cap on, and go for a little test drive.
A few moments later.
And just like that, guys, it's still going. Right there. I don't know what to do. I simply give up with this car, man. Fuck's sake, man. What? Maybe it's the cap. Is it the radiator cap? Well and truly, guys, I'm absolutely gutted. I actually thought it was gonna work. Maybe, potentially, we could just be dealing with a faulty new cap that we put on. This right here is a new cap, but it's still leaking out of this cap. So could it be the cap, or could the coolant just be getting too hot? I have no fucking clue anymore. So maybe this is why people take it to the mechanics. We fixed every single problem that hasn't actually been the problem. However, we headed over to GSF Car Parts and picked up the one last solution that it could be. I don't know what law it is, but it says the most simplest explanation and most likely the correct one. This regulates the pressure in the coolant system. It seals the coolant system as well. £23 this thing cost me. So for the millionth time, we bled the coolant system, ready to install the new radiator cap. So this Mini Cooper's been off-road now for more than 4 months. And 2 of those months, guys, I've been working at this car tirelessly to get it back on road legally and also to stop it from leaking everywhere it goes. Now, has the most simplest explanation for this overheating issue actually fixed it? Well, you are about to find out. Let's quickly pull over and see if that radiator cap has actually stopped the overheating. Let's have a look. Right, so coolant temperature hasn't moved one bit. If it's steaming, that means it wasn't the radiator cap and we have a bigger problem. If it isn't steaming, oh my god! we actually might have fixed it. It hasn't drank any coolant. God, guys! Yes! Oh my god! Yes! Oh my, honestly. So many weeks of hard work, so many months of hard work fixing this Mini Cooper, and I think we have actually finally completed it. Coolant temperature's bang on. There is no fans on. Mate, we've done it. It's running beautifully. So, there we actually go, guys. The Mini Cooper. Finally, back on road, as you can see. Well and truly, I thought I'd win the lottery before this car got back on the road. But, oh my God. Well and truly, I didn't honestly think this day would come. I mean, quite literally, problem after problem after problem after problem. We fixed one problem, and then there's a fucking another one. Ridiculous. As much as this car has been such a genuine headache to have sitting on my driveway, this was only meant to be a quick series, a little mini series. See what I did there? This was only meant to be a quick series, and it's taken about 2 months to get this thing back on road, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I've learned so much about cars through this Mini Cooper, and well and truly, it's quite actually nice for me to know that all of that work finally paid off, and the one drive I've had today is the first drive I have had where I've just enjoyed the car. There was no problems, there was no overheating. It's your mum. Literally, this just shows you to not ever give up. That next attempt you could put into whatever it is, your dream, could be the one to pay off. That thermostat cap fixed all of the overheating problems that I was having. I did it. Now, I was going to say this is a ritual for when this car's fixed, and I would honestly argue that it is fixed, so I think it's time to put the roof down, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh! Are you mad? Are you taking the piss, mate? Oi! And the windows go up. Oh. Yeah. That was worth every single penny. Let's go take it on a little drive. We did it! Mate, the last day of summer, genuinely the last day of summer before torrential rain in the UK. And we did it. Kind of. Still a lot to be fixed on this car. The gear selector is very stiff. Look at this. I'm like in a movie set. All that hard work, guys, led to this moment right here where we're rocking around the Christmas tree. I'm joking. It's not Christmas just yet, lads, but... Now, guys, in the next video, we are going to be doing something very special with this car. So make sure you hit the subscribe button to actually see what we're doing. It sounds good, actually. Oh, sorry, my foot slipped. 124,000 miles. Still purrs like a baby boy. Yeah, this is gangster. Woo! Play the Barbie tune! Look at that, I can reach for the sky. I can see up on top. You know what? If I was a girl, I'd want to f me. But look, no overheating. The fan's not on. It is perfect. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to watch the next video on this Mini Cooper. I think you guys are gonna like it a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I still have faces in my next video.